Hey, Wages World, what is cracking? Somebody give me a 5 for 5 and we'll get going. Guys, please share the stream out real quick. It really truly does help. But yeah, so I'm going to kind of jump into it, and that is going to be my new channel logo. And thanks to everybody that gave me feedback. I'll probably send you guys out another poll just before I do it. But guys, we just had a solar flare, and that's what you're seeing right there. That is most definitely it's a decent sized one, and it is Earth facing. So we did get the radio blackouts. The X-rays did hit us. It almost was a an R3 storm, and we'll go over what that means here in just a second. But also, guys, we have the CME with it. Now, this thing is actually moving fairly fast. It seems as here as of late, these CMEs are, when they pop off, they seem to be moving pretty fast. So that's what you're seeing there. And I do think that this has a good chance of giving us at least a glancing blow or a side hit type of thing. It is very, very difficult to forecast these kinds of things. I think you guys kind of know that already if anybody's been around here for a minute. But yeah, see how wide it is? So anyway, we're also going to talk about cosmic rays a little bit. Not a whole lot. And I'll go into why because here in just a second. But we've got this daytime comet. And when I say daytime comet, this comet has just come out from behind the sun. The space station, the ISS, has now seen it. It's right here, right? But this is a different comet. This is Comet McNaught back in 2007. They're kind of comparing these two. So this could be visible with the naked eye during the daytime. And that's what they're kind of saying here. We're not going to really know what magnitude it's going to be until it gets closer because these things fluctuate. I mean, they come in and out as far as the brightness goes. But, you know, so with that being said, I do want to just kind of get into this, guys. I know I didn't do a live stream the past couple of days. We haven't had a whole lot going on. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to do videos on days where that things aren't just like, you know, really busy. Because I definitely will. I personally, I needed a couple of days off. I hadn't had a day off in, oh gosh, over 2 weeks, I think. 2 or 3 weeks. So I just needed to take a couple of days, spend some time with the family. My daughter had her homecoming thing on Friday, and it's just been a good, you know, I've had a good couple of days. My son's birthday was Saturday, so yeah. So anyway, let's just jump into it. What was it, Saturday? Yeah, today's so the 21st. Got a lot of stuff happened in my family in September, guys. I got married on the 18th. My first son was born on the 21st. My second son was born on the 28th. So yeah, lots going on around here. So let's go ahead and just start from the beginning here with the cosmic rays. Now, I actually kind of mentioned this the other day, and it's kind of odd that it's actually kind of came into play a little bit. So the cosmic ray thing, they can be, you know, they affect us, okay, and we don't even know that they are. And I'm not going to go into like detail how they hit our atmosphere, then they actually split off into two different other particles, muons and everything else. So muons is really what everybody wants to pay attention to because that is a part of it that it's radiation. It can make us sick. Now, we would have to get completely just inundated for it to like be an immediate effect on you. Okay? This is more of a prolonged type of thing that we talk about with the cosmic rays. So how do they get in? You know, what helps the Earth kind of battle that? Well, our magnetic field, but geomagnetism helps block these things. So when somebody says they would rather not see any activity from the sun, I argue with them every time. You have to have some geomagnetism to protect us. Okay, it helps keep our atmosphere strong in the sense that it's able to block things like cosmic rays. You've heard me say, especially here as of late, we have a magnetosphere, right? This thing here. Where's it at? Right here. This is our magnetosphere, right? So I've been talking to you guys about the magneto tail back here. How's this magnetosphere formed? Well, basically it's space weather hitting our magnetic field. Okay, and this is a two-dimensional rendering of a three-dimensional thing that's happening. So we have to have two different axis points, the Y and the Z. In other words, the top-down or bottom-up look, and a north-south side cut. Okay, you hear me talk about the BZ, -6. So when it gets to -6, really our magnetic field is kind of pointed this direction, and it opens us up to couple with the magnetic fields in a lot of the CME action that we get. So we look for that -6 threshold to really talk about if we're going to get a good hard hit or not. Okay. So with that, I would also say this, that here, let me get going here. So yeah, if I got any mod, I know I got a couple mods there in the chat. Can you guys just let me know you're here? I just want to make sure everything's cool in there. I know Surgery's here, but I'm not sure if he's working today or not. I know he works quite a bit at the same time when we do this. Broken Fish is here. That's really all the moderators that I've seen kind of type in here. Butterfly's here, I think. Maybe not. She probably left. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, cool. Sounds good, Butterfly. No problem. Not a problem. Jammer's here. What's up, brother? Good to see you, bud. Okay, guys. So let me sorry I kind of stopped there for a second, but I just need to make sure things are being done in the chat there. So, our magnetosphere, when we get hit, right, it makes this, it kind of just stretches things out. So that is our protection, right, from the sun. But the sun actually helps keep this strong too. Okay, so we have something called the heliosphere. It stretches out, and the sun has this same effect, but it's for our whole solar system. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. It helps block cosmic rays, is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, we have to have some of this geomagnetism from the sun. Now, we don't want the big, massive, you know, G25 storm or something. You know, that's a bit of it's a huge exaggeration. But you know what I'm saying. What we really want, we measure geomagnetic storms by using this KP index. It's just a unit of measurement that they've come up with to help us understand, you know, and give us a base so we can look and see how strong things are when they hit us. That's why they kind of came up with this thing. It's just a unit of measurement. Just like a tape measure when you're measuring, you know, doing construction. Same thing. Very similar to a thunderstorm warning system too, the G1 through 5. As it goes up, things get more intense. So we want things actually a little bit more active than what they are at the current time. Okay? When you start seeing these down here where it's almost 0 on the KP, especially during solar max, you know, I won't say especially during solar max. During solar max, we don't typically see things get this low for a very decent amount of time. So when they do, we take note, because what happens is the geomagnetism isn't there to help us fend off cosmic rays. So during solar minimum, you're going to see and hear me probably say quite a bit, hey, we're on alert for cosmic rays because we're in the basement. What's that mean? That means that we probably had 1, 2, maybe even 3 days. I've seen 5 days in a row where the KP barely even came off the floor. Okay? So when that's happening, that's telling us we don't have geomagnetism hanging around to help us block all that stuff. So all the muons and everything else, when they get here, they really do. Now, some of these things will go right, guys, they will go through you, and they will go right through the planet, out the other side. Okay? That's what I'm talking about here. These things are not something that we like to play around with, but they're also something that we don't want to over-exaggerate, because it does take a prolonged exposure of these things to really get you, right? Now, they start talking about these cosmic rays a lot with people that fly, right? So when you're flying high altitude and high latitude, in other words, towards the poles, just like I've been telling you guys for day one, you know, I explain it all the time, things come in easier on our poles, right? So it makes sense if you're flying close to the poles you're going to get hit with more of this stuff. So they don't let pregnant people fly during certain conditions. They don't want you to fly anyway. Cabin crew and like pilots and the stewardess and stewards, they're not allowed. They can only fly during those conditions a certain amount of hours a year. This is how serious they take this. Hey Trinity, good to see you. Hey, good job on your live stream, by the way. Guys, get over and check out her live stream. Now, also, guys, please pay attention to that. Don't ignore cosmic rays. A lot of people do. And I get that it's not an immediate, oh my God, you know, I'm melting, that kind of thing. No, it's not that. But who wants to be able to say in 20 years from now, you know, you're not going to be able to like say, oh, them cosmic rays got me. Nobody's ever going to say that to you. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, it does contribute to all of that, including the big C. Okay? So keep that in mind. They don't want pregnant women having x-rays unless they absolutely have to. They will not take an x-ray of a woman that's pregnant unless it is like life or death. It affects reproductive organs and everything else in the baby. So that's the whole point here, guys. So when they're up there flying that high, they're actually essentially getting extra dose of radiation, x-ray stuff. Okay? Not really x-ray, but it's similar. I'll just say it that way. It's radiation. Okay? So we're just going to leave it at that. Again, it would take a whole week of videos to explain cosmic rays the proper way. And I do have a little bit of an animation that or just a still shot that I made. And I'll probably break that out here, you know, not today, but probably soon. Those are things I like to talk about when the sun starts to slow down a little bit, because we got time to talk about it. You know what I mean? But again, this is our magnetosphere today. Notice, look, there is absolutely no magnetic pressure right now, guys. It is ungodly, like just really low. And again, this is not good for cosmic rays when they're hitting. When they hit, all of it's getting through. Okay? Give me. I got a question for you guys in there. If you guys, hey, Kristen, good to see you. Can you guys hear anything? You guys hear any buzzing or anything like that in the audio? I'm talking like to the point where it's like in your face, like, hey, I need to make an adjustment. I got a fan. I'm trying to find the perfect spot for my fan because it's hot where I stream at. Okay? So I got a fan running in the background here. I just want to make sure it ain't bugging anybody. I will shut it off if I need to. But just let me know. Okay, so we're going to go back over here to SDO. And what is SDO? It is the satellite. It's in geosynchronistic orbit right here. Seeing it right there. So let me scroll down. And it means it stays over this part of the planet at all times. It orbits Earth at 15 degrees an hour, which is the same speed that we rotate around our axis. So it causes us to stay here. One of the main reasons they do this is so they can get real-time data retrieval. They will send the data right back to White Sands. Okay? It's almost real-time stuff. Also, it has to turn itself like this to keep its eye on the sun. So inherently, the Earth will pass in front of the satellite, in between the satellite and the sun, a couple times a year for like a week at a time. It's called the SDO eclipse season. Okay? So that's where the satellite's at. And here's the satellite. Now, I had made my thumbnail and posted it, had no intentions of even talking about something like this until I pulled up my phone again, and this just happened. Okay? So that is a decent sized flare. For all you wrestling fans out there, no, it's not Ric Flair. Just kidding. Anyway, so here's the flare. Check it out. I mean, it's not it's not a low M-class flare. This was like an M4, I think. An M5 would have been an R2 radio blackout condition. Okay, this was a longer duration in the sense that it wasn't straight up and straight down, which would mean that it's impulsive. And impulsive flares have a tendency not to produce very big or very significant coronal mass ejections. Okay, remember, they're two different things. A coronal mass ejection is what gets here in 2 to 3, 5 days. Anywhere between 2 and 5 days typically. So if you have an impulsive flare, sometimes you won't get any kind of significant eruption. But with these longer duration ones, and this isn't extremely long, I will say, but anytime you see them like place this yellow in there as it's kind of ramping down, you got to remember, if you look at the time frames, this bar right here represents 3 hours. So that's about a 3-hour flare. Okay? It's close, right? So we've had flares that are like, it seems to be like 15 minutes, right? That's an impulsive flare. I've seen X flares do that before. I think I've shown you guys X flares like that before. Hey, Miss, good to see you. Okay, but anyway, so that's a longer duration flare, and it was like an M4. I tell you what, let's just look over here. M3, okay? Dr. Tony Phillips over here at spaceweather.com's got her back right here. There's a lot of good information over here, guys. Please, please, please go check it out. Dr. Tony Phillips is awesome. I've never talked to him, but he is definitely one of those people that he's a mainstay here. But there's a lot of other channels that go to his channel every day, and it makes me sick when people go to his channel and don't even give him any kind of credit. It is so frustrating for me. Hey, Joy, good to see you. I'll take any hug I can get, as is who I am, guys. Hey, Daryl, good to see you too. Samurai Sun, what's happening? But yeah, so with that being said, this is a decent sized flare. You see how it lit up the whole image, right? So let me just do it like this, and we'll take it a little at a time here, just to see. Now, so you can tell, and this is why I'm showing you the 131 angstrom. Remember, we're talking about extreme ultraviolet, okay? And the angstrom means that's the actual wavelength from peak to peak in the wave. The wave signature that we have for light, right? Different lengths means different things that our eyes can see, right? The 131, we cannot see that with our eyeballs. So we couldn't see this unless we had technology to let us see it. And so what they do is they apply that and they filter out all other light but that angstrom, and that's what you're looking at, okay? It is not necessarily this teal color. They assign it a color. Our eyes are very, very dependent upon, just for example, dogs see things, the colors are different. People like to say that the dogs are colorblind. They're not. Okay? They just see colors differently. And that's what I'm trying to say. So, what I'm going to tell you here, you're going to see plasma just jump off. And that's why I'm showing you guys the 131 here. Okay, see how fast that happened? And you see how far out it's reaching? So, let me just go forward here with that. See it kind of just splash out. Right? But the main part of the flare is actually the light that you're seeing right there, okay? That's the X-ray production. That's what the flare is. Now, the CME, which is what geomagnetism is from all the stuff we get from the sun like that. It's plasma, okay? 4 states of matter, solid, liquid, gas, and you have plasma. Plasma is nothing more than a charged gas, okay? Coming out no, I'm just kidding. Anyway. Well, I'm in kind of a funky mood, guys. I really am. Anyway, so you can see how that this is just kind of like, splashing out. So if I keep moving here, you see how that kind of dissipated right quick, right? And you guys hear my hillbilly coming out there too. Right quick. Gotta get that right quick. Y'all, let's go, all. If you live where I live, guys, you either came from Kentucky or you got family in Kentucky. That's just the way that it is. Anyway, so you can kind of see how that kind of splashed out like right there, right? And I'll also say this too, guys. If you know anybody that has a tobacco farm in Kentucky, I can promise you they are not making their money off tobacco. I'll just say that. Hey, Kay Heather Joy, good to see you, sister. How you doing? Hope y'all are having a wonderful Sunday. Hey, it's good to see you, Heather, for real. For real. Let me highlight that message. Got to do that for my sister. By the way, I like that thumbnail. It's really interesting. And I know I said it already before, Heather. That one short you made when you came in out and you were soaking wet from the rain. That I was laughing. I thought it was funny. Anyway, so you guys can see that right now. Listen, we've got a couple of sunspots here that we're going to have to pay attention to. Okay, this is one of them, and then here's another one back here. This one back here has already fired a couple off the back. We've had a couple other eruptions other than this one. This is the one from the one I just showed you guys. See how wide it is? That's why I think we could possibly get some sort of a geomagnetic storm from that. And the reason why is because we could take a hit from it. I'm waiting on models. You guys know me. I'm not going to just come out here and just say it, right? I want to have a model to show you, or at least have the data to show you, hey, this is what I think is happening and this is why. I'm not just going to come out here and say, hey guys, bug out because we're having a G1 solar storm. It cracks me up because I see people doing that all the time, and it just drives me nuts. But anyway, look at this, guys. This is a 211. It's another angstrom. And why I'm showing you this is because we get to see the shock wave on this one. You'll see it go across the image if it goes across like that. And I have to tell you. Okay, there you go. Hey, Planet Hermit, thank you for the gifted membership. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. As always, such a great supporter. Thank you. Anybody who got those, please tell Planet Hermit thank you. That's yeah, guys, coming out of his own pocket for that. That's a big deal in my opinion. Anybody, same thing with Heather there. Anybody that does that comes out of their own pocket is crazy. I think I'm pretty sold on the electric sun model myself. The evidence is pretty strong. Yeah, I mean there's a lot to be said for that, Tommy. But there's a lot to be said for me. I think it's kind of a combination of things. But you know, and to be honest with you, I've researched that model a little bit, but I haven't researched it enough to have any kind of significant opinion that holds any weight. So, right, that's just me though. But I appreciate everybody's opinion on everything. You guys know that. How else do we learn if we're not able to look at new stuff? You know what I mean? So, yeah, good comment. Now, guys, that right there is a filament. We don't usually see filaments very well in this angstrom. And I do find it a little bit strange that we're seeing it here. Now, why I say that, and what it is guys, that's colder, okay? The darker colors are colder. So this is in the corona here, kind of just laying across there. It's a magnetic rope, right? And you got charged particles traveling on that rope. The rope itself is what's making that twirling action. The rope is just taking that shape because of the magnetics, okay? That's how it does things. And then you got what you're seeing, the movement that you're seeing is that changing shape, but you're also seeing the particles traveling on that, okay? So when we see the dark colors, we know that that's colder because this is not a hole in the sun. Actually, that's the surface. The surface of the sun is colder than the atmosphere. So when we get coronal holes, the surface is exposed and particles and stuff just flow out, okay? And it can put us into, well, it does put us into geomagnetic storming when we get a good solar wind stream, okay? But as you can tell here, guys, it doesn't, I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm not seeing that big of a shock wave. And why I'm saying that is because if you look at the base here, and I'm just going to grab the cursor here. Oops. I hope I don't have a hotkey set up for that one. Hold on a minute, guys. I need to check something. Okay. We should be good. Alright. Just double checking. Okay. So what I'm looking for here, guys, is we see a lot of the corona in this image, right? the hazy look. So when we get eruptions, I'll come to this one often to kind of see how the shock wave goes across the sun. So if it kind of comes this way, right, then we know the Earth is right here, right, kind of right in the middle, because we know the location of the satellite. That's why. So with that being said, if we see the shock wave kind of come all the way across here, then we kind of got a better idea whether or not it's going to hit us or not, right? So let me back this up, and we will take a look at this flare right there. Okay, so you don't see much of the flare, right, in this angstrom. Remember, it's a different gas because it's a different angstrom. The 131, we were able to see a lot of the X-ray. In this one, you can't. But what you do see is that. Okay? So what that is, that's basically a big splash of plasma. But what I'm not seeing is a massive shock wave go across the sun. Oftentimes when we get these decent eruptions like that, we'll see that little shock wave go across the whole front of the sun. Because we know that energy will spread that direction when we see that. Which would make it, in my opinion, makes it more likely that it's going to hit us. Right? But I'm not seeing that here. I'm looking at this the first time with you guys, so, you know, it's the first time I'm seeing it. So I'm making my opinion based on what I'm seeing here. What I will say, though, we did have another smaller eruption right here in the middle. And I don't know if a whole lot of people are going to see it. It's not significant, really. But it's not something we should ignore. That's what I'll say. We just got to pay attention. This sunspot here could fire an X-flare at any time. It's harboring enough energy. This is the one I think we seen, no, that was up here. We seen sunspot genesis up here. But I think we seen sunspot genesis for this one too when it was over here. But regardless, I showed it to you guys when that happened. But do you see these kind of waves going across there? So I'm going to go back here to the flare. Okay? You're not going to see any ripple across the front of this. At least I'm not seeing it. Okay? It didn't even ripple enough to affect this. So what I'm thinking here, guys, is either it shot out that direction and just kind of flung out after that, which is possible, okay? It doesn't eliminate the fact that it could still hit us, is what I'm trying to say. It definitely has a southerly component, right? It's going this direction. We know that for a fact. But just because of the way that it came off the sun right here. Okay, but I don't want to forget the fact, do you see this? How it's kind of arced this way? That means it's you know, at the end of the day, after it releases, it's going to go this way, right? That's what that means. It's actually the base of it. You can see how it's kind of pointed this way. So that's really the direction of this plasma. Now, the majority of it is definitely, it's not going to be a direct hit if it hits us at all, okay? But I didn't want to not talk about this because this just happened. Now, we did get radio blackouts from it, and I can show you that. We can go to the D region, and this is where the absorption happens in this region here anyway. So what we're going to look at here, remember I said things come in easier on the poles, right? But a flare is on the day side. If you're on the night side like we are over here in the States right now, this had absolutely no effect on us, okay? So this is wherever you're at, and it looks like this is going to be like in the middle of the Pacific, I think, if I'm correct. So it means it probably didn't affect a whole lot of people. Yeah, see right there? So maybe I got to backtrack my words here a little bit. The majority of it is in the Pacific. So our friends in Hawaii and things like that, aloha to Kathy. Good to see you. Kathy Paina, if you're in here, aloha. Anybody out here in California, you might have had some sort of very limited, some sort of disruption for your ham radio operators. You guys can see over here how far it stretched over. It didn't quite make it to Australia, and it really has to be in this green color for it to really give us any kind of significant radio blackouts. But this did most definitely cause some radio blackouts right in the middle of this thing. Okay? So probably Hawaii would take, in my opinion, probably took the brunt of this. So I'll just leave it at that. Now it would be very, very short lived. So keep that in mind also. Um, but they're forecasting, guys. Look, ones on the KP. I can't tell you the last time I've seen 3 days in a row where they were forecasting ones. That's been a while, okay? Especially after coming off of what happened last week, right? With all the great Aurora, the G4 unexpectedly strong solar storm that hit, that kind of thing. And now nothing, no energy at all. Now they have lowered the chances of X flares to almost nothing, okay? 5% here, and here. That can change like tomorrow or like in 10 minutes it can change. So these forecasts right here is just a ballpark. I don't really hold a whole lot of weight when we're talking about that because I've seen, you know, if it says 75%, then yeah, you can pretty much say we're going to get some X flares. And usually when they do that, there's multiple sunspots on the Earth-facing side that are harboring energy enough to blast us with those things. Okay? But again, here's SDO. Now, I'm going to back this SEEDS off. Now, remember, SEEDS is just a website, right? And it shows us the Soho Observatory, which is on this satellite. But it also shows us Stereo A. Stereo A actually hangs out about right here, right now. They used to be out here. It used to be our satellite where we could see at least a partial backside view. Okay? But yeah. Guys, let me know when... Hey, Ilea, good to see you, girl. Hey, Daryl, good to see you. Daryl, I thought you were... Hold on a minute here. Give me one... Oh, my goodness. I gotta fix that. I thought for sure... It ain't let me do that right now. Hey, Hilly, what's happening? My brother from another mother. Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, give me a roll call in there if you could. Daryl, where you at, brother? Man, I thought I did this a long time ago, Daryl. I thought for sure I gave you a wrench a long time ago. You got one now. Hey, Art, good to see you. Dolores, what's happening? So, yeah, Lady in Red, be prepared. It could go off the... Yeah, it could at any time. We get, you know, it really can. But also at any time, it can just stay status quo. And that's why, you know, it just really is. Are you talking to me? Hilly? Hey, Axe, good to see you, bud. I don't know what... Hilly, you okay, brother? I don't know what the heck. That's right, Daryl. There you go. You got your wrench. Of course, I've been looking at the chat, guys, so, yeah. I don't know. Huh. I don't... Okay. I was wondering what the heck, man. I thought maybe I said something wrong there. I didn't know. Okay, that's all I need to know. Y'all handle your business in there, but guys, please just be respectful of one another, okay? That's all I ask. You know, we can have disagreements and we can have even arguments as long as it's respectful. You know what I mean? I think it's healthy, just to be honest with you. So I'm going to move on. Now, listen, guys, we got that Soho. I showed you where it's at. It's a million miles closer to the sun. And that is where it is. So let me, I just asked for a, yeah. Okay. All right. Now, let me get a, I asked for a roll call here. I'm trying to find it here. I got to my chat is stuck. Give me a second, guys. All right, here we go. Eastern Oregon. What's up, Leslie? Accent Nacho, my brother Dennis. What's happening at Mom's? Be back soon. Hey, Mom, meatloaf. Dolores, what's happening? Okay. That's right, miss. You hang in there, girl. We got you back, okay? So, yeah. Ohio. What's up, Karen? All right. Let's see here. Central Utah. That's right. That's right. You up there messing around with all that stuff, huh? Alrighty. Congratulations, Daryl. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't want that wrench, you let me know, okay? Hey, Christian. Kristen, I should say. All right. Hey, Lady in Red. Brian Stevens, baby. Oh, yeah. Cowboy Roy Rogers. News and Clues. What a name. What a name. Broken Fish. What's happening? Crater Lake. That's right. There you. I love that when you guys say that. George Richard says California. Oh, my goodness. Tennessee, baby. What's up, Daryl? All right, guys. All right. So, let's get moving. Now, guys, we've got... what I do want to show you is there hasn't been a whole lot going on, right? But there has been some eruptions off the backside. So, here we go. I'm going to show you this one, right? That's off the backside. That's not on this side. So nothing has been happening on the front. But I want to point out, if you look at this one, if you map that back to the sun, it would be right here. That's the surface, right? So that's going to be very, very close to crusting over. This is going to be one of those sunspots we're going to have to watch. As a matter of fact, I think it's this one. But it could be this one up here too. It most likely is this one up here. I'll take that. Yeah, I don't think it was that one. That's just too close to the limb here. I do think, because it blew off up here, right? So if you map it back, you can kind of tell. If you look for the bright spots. That's typically where your sunspots are. Now, we do have a technique where we can see the backside of the sun. And what that is that seismic activity on the sun. All that means is they know what these signatures look like. And they now have models now that can very accurately, I have to say, surprisingly accurate, what the backside of the sun looks like just by going off of the seismic activity that they are able to detect. It's amazing to me. Now, we also have some satellites hanging out back there too. SOLO, okay? The Solar Orbiter. It's not SOHO, it's with an L. Remember that. We get a lot of data collection from that one. But when a satellite's out here in the back of the sun, in order for us to get that data, it has to be moved out from behind the sun, or I believe they can actually send the data to another satellite that's in more line of sight, and then that satellite can send the Earth the data. Now, I'm not 100% sure if they do that with SOLO. I know that they've done that before, but I'm not really sure, to be honest. But the best way to get it is to get a straight line of sight from the satellite to Earth. But, okay. I want to go over this, though, real quick. The Aurora equinox. They love equinoxes, guys. You guys hear me say this every spring and every fall. There was a researcher called Russell-McPherron. That's why they call it the McPherron effect. I actually say Russell-McPherron effect. Cracks open up in the Earth's magnetic field this time of year. Okay? So we're going to see more out of place, I guess you could say. Extra out of place aurora we expect at this time of year. Doesn't have to be like massive amounts of it, because we don't expect massive amounts of things out of place. But we do expect some, right? So we have to keep that in mind when we're talking about this and not go crazy off the rails here when we see something in an odd place and think that, oh my God, why are we seeing it there? Now, we've been seeing a lot of aurora phenomenon this year. It's just way out of normal. We know this. This is not even a questionable thing. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we understand that a lot of what we do see is normal, okay? It's just now we all have communication tools in our pocket. You know what I mean? So kind of keep that in mind, guys, okay? Alrighty. Now, the Russell-McPherron effect. I never click on these links, but I'm going to this time. This is an abstract. These are papers that these guys write. They call them abstracts, in case you guys don't know that. And I wouldn't expect everybody here to know that. So don't think you're like, oh, no. That's not what I'm saying at all, okay? It's just, I want to make sure everybody understands what this is. So you guys can go through here, come over here to spaceweather.com and read this, okay? It will explain to you what the Russell-McPherron effect is, and essentially what it means to us. It's nothing more than, X out of, I X'd out of that one altogether. Hold on a minute. It's not, for us, what it means is, hey, we're going to see more aurora during the equinoxes in places we might not necessarily see, right? So that's what that means. And we have been. So, anybody who gets aurora photography, please send it to me. I've got some more aurora to show you too from somebody else that sent me some stuff, and I want to show it because they did a lot of, they took a lot of effort here to do this, and I'll show it to you guys here in a minute, okay? But also I want to go over this comet real quick. This comet here, guys, is the one that is just now coming out from behind the sun. Okay, it was in a position that it's been here. It's just the sun's been blocking it from us. Okay, we couldn't really see it. Now it's out from behind it, and the ISS is seeing it. That's it right there. I'm not going to play this video. If you guys want to see the video, please go give Dr. Tony Phillips some love. But yeah. Okay. Surgery, what's up? Is that... I'm not sure what link that is. Thank you for putting that in there. Whoever's link that is, I think it's spaceweather.com's link. Pretty sure. Not 100%, but yeah. Hilly, I love that. I wish I had one of those. That would be so cool. That's a... Man. You get somebody that can do something like that? Wow. Talk about getting rich in a hurry. Oh, cool, Cowboy. You're friends with Ron? Awesome. Ron's a good dude, man. He really is. Hey, yes. There you go, Jammer. I forgot. I keep forgetting about that, Jammer. I'm sorry, man. I need to mention that more often. Guys, you guys can share any Aurora photography over there on that link. I believe it's a Telegram room, right? If I'm correct, Jammer? I'm pretty sure it is. But please. Yeah, call Elon. Yes, it is all about frequency, guys. Frequency affects everything. 100% affects everything. There is not, I don't think anybody can really even doubt that or even contradict that hardly even at all anymore. It's just it's so evident with everything we see, and there's been so much research. But anyway, I need to stay out of that chat for a minute. I need to get through this. I apologize. Okay, so the comet's rising above Earth's air glow layer, along with at least 3 satellites. This comet is going to make for some really cool images as it gets closer to the sun. Okay, so I know it just says coming out from behind the sun, but it's actually still traveling towards the sun. I'm not going to get into the direction of that, but we could actually even see what we call forward scattering. Okay, as time goes by. October 9th, when light from a nearby sun will be forward scattered by comet dust. Okay, that's a negative magnitude. Will be visible broad daylight, especially on October 9th, when light from the nearby sun, our sun, will be forward scattered by comet dust. What's that mean? It's a bunch of word salad, right? So let me explain. So the dust basically kind of acts like rain does here on our planet with light when it creates a rainbow. Okay? But instead of like bending the rays and going through, when we're talking about comet dust, it will kind of just like deflect in a direction the light. so it'll make it seem brighter than what it actually kind of is. So it's called forward scattering. Now, that's a very basic way to explain all that. Obviously, you guys can come over here and hit these hyperlinks. Please do. You will learn so much. Now, this is not the Comet. This is Comet McNaught back in 2007. They're comparing this one. They're saying it's going to be very similar to this. So I just think it's so cool that we're going to be able to look up in the daytime sky without any technology whatsoever and see it with your eyeballs. That's the forecast. It does not mean that's 100% going to happen. So please understand that. And if anybody, and I mean anybody, gets any kind of imaging of this, please send it to me. I will show it all day long, all night strong. I don't care what's going on. You know what I mean? That's just something that I would love to be able to do. What I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to switch you guys over to this screen real quick. I need to pull in some photography here. It won't take me but a second. I already got it preloaded and everything. So let me take this one out here. Aquila Draconis. That's where these images are coming from. She sent me these. She actually got out of bed to go do this, guys. So I want to show her some love on this one. All right. Put that up there. So what I'm going to do, I need to open up these individually, just so you guys know. Is that? Goodness. Let me move this over. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about this. Hate to do this to you, but where'd that go? I'm going to get mad. Y'all going to see me get mad. Y'all don't want me to get mad. You don't want me to get mad. I'm just kidding. I'm actually kind of having fun with that. It's kind of crazy. All right, let's see. There it goes. Oh, I copied it to the desktop. I don't want it on the desktop. I want it over here. There we go. Wow, I was about to get upset. So what I'll do now is I will let's bring you back over, and there's more than just one here too, by the way. So let me just say that first and foremost. Let me get you guys back in here. There we go. This is live Aurora, guys. This is during the storm the other night. Okay. She heard me say, hey guys, if you guys get any Aurora, please send it to me. And that's exactly what she did. She knew she could see it in her area because I guess it's pretty common. I don't know. I have to go back and reread the email, guys. So please forgive me for that. But you can see the Aurora here, right? So let me pull in a couple more of these. She's got like, man. Oh man, it's not wanting me to do that. That's stupid. Man, I'm gonna get upset. Hold on, I gotta take you guys back over here. Sorry, I'm gonna have to put you back on this screen here. Well, I don't have to, I guess. I guess I can just do that and see what happens. The screen might get a little funky on you there. It might go a little strange looking. It shouldn't, but we'll see. We'll see if it does. If it doesn't, I'm gonna do it from like that from now on. All right, so let's take this and I copied it to the desktop, and then I'll put it there. There we go. It's working now. All right, I don't know why it's making me put it on my desktop first. That's crazy. Yes, replace it. I don't care. Okay. Let's go here with this one. Oh, it's staying full screen. Okay. I didn't. Last time I did that, it wouldn't let me stay full screen. So you guys are seeing that. Cool. This is cool stuff, guys. I'm sorry I didn't have this staged. I hadn't really planned on doing that tonight, and I kind of forgot about it till last minute. But if I tell you guys I'm going to show you your pictures, I'm going to show the picture, especially in an instance like this when she actually got out of bed to go to do this. It's yeah. Man. Okay. I'll be better prepared next time, guys. I'm sorry. But you guys can see that. Look at this. I'm not sure what time this is, but that looks like that's either city lights. Because she was saying, I remember in the email a little bit, she was saying that she's living closer now, and there's been more buildings, I guess, built up around where she lives. In other words, there's more light pollution. Okay, so yeah, that's what's been going on. All right, so J Puss, what's happening, my brother? Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and kind of get off here. Um, yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. I want to make sure I don't forget something here. I seen J-Poss is here. I guess we could start over. But anyway, we got that going on. All right, guys. Let's okay. All right. Let's see here. Did I miss anything? Okay. Alrighty. Alright, guys. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. And, yeah. Let me tuck my head back in the chat here in just a second. I just want to make sure I got everything. Okay. So I just want to make sure I showed that imaging. Okay. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and end this. We're getting a little too late here, I think. What we got here? 51, 52. Oh, yeah, baby. Ooh, alrighty. Okay. All right, guys. So we are. That is, thank you again for the Aurora photography here. Let me, Aquila Draconis. I'm not sure if that's actually your real name or if that's a screen name of some sort. Aquila, that's a very cool name. Draconis is what I think might be not your name. It might be. I don't know. I don't want to offend you or anything, but there you go. Very cool stuff. Thank you for taking the time to do that. You know, awesome stuff, guys. All right? All right, guys. God bless. Linda B's in the hizzy. So, yeah. God bless. Yahusha saves, and as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.